Let me give you your introduction, sir.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the afternoon session of Infinitum Day 5. Liberal education is a concept which is based on principle that minds are like parachutes. They function best when open. To speak on liberal education in India, application process, placements, faculty, course structure in Ashoka University, we have with us Sri Shaurya Chima, an undergraduate from Shriram College of Commerce, Delhi University, batch 2014. Masters in Financial Management and Accounting from Melbourne, Australia, where he studied, worked, and traveled extensively. He is currently working for the Office of Admission and Outreach at Ashoka University as Deputy Manager for Outreach. On behalf of Mrs. Reena Rajpal, Principal, DLDAV Model School, Shalimar Bagh, and myself, Shilpi Mukherjee, extend a warm welcome to you, sir, for today's session. So over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for the introduction. And I'm so glad to see I have a few attendees over here. And okay, let me just present my screen once more.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure, ma'am. All right, I'm going to start off with our presentation now. Yep. Sorry about that. Just give me one quick second. I'm just going to start the presentation.
Take your own time.
All right, thank you. All right. Is my presentation visible, ma'am? I think it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, great. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Now that the introductions have been done, let me just start off by saying it's a great pleasure for me to be finally, interacting with you, students of DLDAV, and again, I'm really grateful. The counselor, ma'am, she reached out to me, and she asked me to come here and pick a topic of my choice to interact with you all. So obviously, I will be talking about Ashoka, but more importantly, I want to talk about liberal education and what exactly does it mean, and how can it be of help to basically everyone who is looking to do anything in their lives. Basically, that's the gist of the session. That's what I really want to talk about today. I'm sorry about that. Let me just put my phone on silent. All right, so starting off, just a quick intro about Ashoka. My introduction has been done. I'm really grateful for that. Nothing more to add to that. So Ashoka University is a liberal education university, which is located in Sonipat, in the Rajiv Gandhi Education City. So for those of you who haven't heard of Ashoka, the main aim of the university. So when the founders got together and they thought of this idea about creating a university which has an education up to par with probably any foreign university out there in the world right now, the main aim was to create and nurture future leaders. Now, how do we do that? For them, seeking liberal education and understanding liberal education and really studying in this particular pedagogy, through this, they felt that leaders could emerge and really change the world. So that was the main motive behind the university. And we also are a philanthropic initiative because the main aim, along with parting this education of the university, is to also re-establish and practice the philanthropic initiative. Because the founders of Ashoka, as when we go through this presentation, you'll realize that they're all leading businessmen, philanthropists all around the world, and their main aim was to make sure that this kind of education is reachable to everyone. So, regardless of your economic status, regardless of your any physical challenges that you may face, regardless of whatever it may be, they wanted to make sure that we could reach out to more and more deserving students in different corners of our country. So moving on now, like I said, before we get into anything, this is what we'll talk about. So what exactly is liberal education? We know from the word liberal, it means free of freedom, right? So to actually explain this really rather simply, it's been broken down into 4 parts. So first, you have the freedom to choose what you want to study. Now this is where I really want you to pay attention for the next 10 minutes. Really, just give me all your attention. So freedom to choose what you want to study. When you come to Ashoka University, unlike the traditional Indian universities, we don't require you to declare your majors as soon as you enter the university or even prior to that. So what will happen is you'll come to the university, and for the first 1.5 years, 3 semesters, that is, so for the first 3 semesters, you have the freedom to study whatever you want, regardless of what your preference is. You can study any subjects of your choice in the first 3 years, and at the end, in the first 3 semesters, and at the end of the third semester is when you declare your majors to us. By declaring your majors to us, I mean, this is when you tell us, okay, this is what I want my degree in. So that only happens after the first 3 semesters. You have a good 1.5 years to choose, study what you want, and then make an informed decision, make an informed choice about what you want to study. Secondly, it's the study of natural sciences, social sciences, and humanities. It's a big misconception that as soon as we talk about liberal education, we straight away jump to arts, and that's it. Well, that's not the case. Anything literally taught under a liberal setup becomes liberal education, regardless of what we are studying. So sciences, humanities, social sciences, whatever it may be, whatever may be the background. These days, Plaksha is another university. It's funny that I'm taking their name, but Plaksha it's an engineering university, and they are a kind of set up in the liberal education format as well. So, it's more of a pedagogy, it's more of a way of studying things. So anything under that which is taught in a liberal manner can be considered as liberal education. Now, third, and probably the most important, I feel, interdisciplinary approach. Now, this is where liberal education really shines, and this is what really makes this kind of pedagogy so beautiful. What does interdisciplinary approach exactly mean? Very simply, if there is a problem in front of you, if you're able to think of a solution to that problem using 2 or more disciplines in your mind, if there's a problem in front of you, and if you're able to think of a solution combining geography and history together, combining economics and finance together, combining English and sciences together, you would have said to use that interdisciplinary approach. I'll give you a very quick example over here to make it really simple. Think of something like Amazon, for example. So we all know now Jeff Bezos is a is a very hardworking man, right? But do you think he attained all this success just because he had a business background, or he kind of exploited this opportunity that came in front of him, which was the web services? It wasn't just 1 or 2 things, it was plenty of things. Think about it now. Amazon was first started as a web services, right? So when that web services started, obviously IT knowledge should have been there. Along with that, business knowledge, business acumen should have been there. What all can I do over here? What all? Thirdly, we talk about, say, psychology of the customers, of the people who will be watching that. What kind of things are they looking for? Then we go on to design. We have to make sure that everyone who's logging on to Amazon, they have a very safe navigation and a very easy navigation through the website. So design had to be thought of that. Let's think what else. Geography, imagine geography had to be thought of that. Now this services has to reach a worldwide location. It has to be everywhere. So let's think about the geography, where all can we reach. So as you can see, to be successful, to really break into something, it's very important to have this kind of an approach, to have an interdisciplinary approach. Isolation, studying in isolation, thinking in isolation will not help anymore. Gone are those days, where we could say that, okay, I just have to keep my head down and keep pushing in one direction and it'll be fine. Nope. Studying in isolation, studying a subject in isolation will not help out anymore. It's very important to have this kind of approach, not just in your everyday life, not just in your, not just in your social life, but in your education as well. And lastly, it allows for breadth and depth. If you can see this shape over here, it's a T format. So this is called a T format of education. Now, the horizontal, this is where you explore your subjects. This is where you explore the different subjects that are there, and then the vertical takes you deeper into the one thing that you really want to study. So this is what liberal education really means, and just to give you a gist of it really quickly in 5 minutes, this is I hope it brings some perspective amongst you young lot, and I really dig deeper and try and understand more and more about liberal education. This is the way universities all around the world are set up as well. Something that is picking up in India right now, and Ashoka has been pioneering in this. We were the first ones to come up with liberal education, with the concept of that in our country, and we are really glad it's taken up. And now with the new education policy, we can see how important it is to think in these lines, because that's what the government is finally pushing upon as well, to have this sort of an approach. Now, quickly moving on to the next slides. I'm not going to take much time over here. This is just to give you an idea of why and what is liberal education and why it is important. So we've spoken about this, and I'll give you a quick correction over here as well. So we all know about the four industrial revolutions. The first saw a mechanization, steam and water power coming up. We moved from a very agricultural, concentrated society into an urban society. And obviously, as you realize, the farmers, they would have lost their jobs when new technology came, and that's what happened. So there were huge job losses. And moving to the first industrial revolution. Similarly, from this first to the second, we saw mass production and electricity. More and more things were, your mass production was possible over here. Your assembly line was possible over here. Again, people who could not kind of adapt to electricity, kind of adapt to mass production, kind of adapt to the new technology, they lost their jobs. Moving on from second to third revolution, this is the most famous revolution, and we all must be aware of it. Starting in the late 90s, electronic ID systems, automation. This is where computers started coming up. And definitely we know how important computers are today. But yes, they were a major change as well. We saw a major change. Jobs got displaced over here rather than losing. People who weren't computer savvy, they were at a risk of either shifting jobs or losing them. So we saw a huge job displacement over here. Progress of people was stopping if you weren't computer savvy. And moving on to the fourth industrial revolution, this is where we are currently, the cyber physical systems. All right, so this is where nanotechnology, your robotics, etc., these things really came into power. Now, the reason why I really very quickly went through this is because, as you can see, moving on from every revolution, we saw job losses in every era. So what is the future looking like over here in the fourth industrial revolution? What does the future look like over here? Because we have seen there were job losses till the first three revolutions. So what happens after that? Now, these are facts right here. 800 million jobs could be displaced by automation by 2030. 35% skills required for jobs today will change by 2030. 52%, more than half of the activities can be robotically automated in India, and 66%, that is literally 2/3 of Indian businesses, are looking for quite a different set of skills among new recruits than they did 3 years ago. So things are changing now for the future. Jobs that will disappear: software developers, financial planners, pilot market research analysts, stock traders, architects, salespeople, hotel management. Who will survive? The research and strategic jobs, empathy-centric jobs, creatives, environmentalists. See, these are the people that cannot be replaced by robots. You need a human touch over here, and skills that you will need. Now, this is where I want you to focus. Critical thinking, creativity, interpersonal communication skills, EI, cognitive flexibility, leadership, diversity and culture, and technology skills. Now, how do you get these skills? Well, uh, these skills cannot be taught to you. I'll just break it off like that. These skills cannot be taught to you. They have to be developed by you. And how do you develop these skills? You develop these skills by by liberal education. You see, when you have this freedom, when you study in this pedagogy, when you use interdisciplinary approach, it really, really, really is what it's doing is making your brain run. It's making your mind function. It's making you think out of the box, and it's making you think of things and in ways that you have never thought before. So when you think in such a way, your critical thinking goes up. You start asking the question, how, why, what. Your creativity goes up. You are thinking of solutions in a very creative way. Your interpersonal communication skills go up. Your cognitive skills go up. Leadership skills are bound to go up. So these skills are, these skills, trust me when I say employers coming into universities these days, they are not looking at your degree. They are not looking at what you have done. They are having a conversation with you, and within those 10-15 minutes of a conversation, they are able to exactly assess if you have these skills that will push you forward or not. So this is what you really need, and these things can have to be developed by you. They cannot be taught by anyone. They just have to be developed by you. So as a practice, start to connect dots. Think of ways you can connect dots in different subjects that you're learning in school as well. It should start that process. It should start that cycle in you, and I hope you understand the importance of this moving forward. So now that we have done with that, quickly I'm going to talk about Ashoka University, and from the audience I could see most of you are 11th and 12th as well. So let's quickly go through Ashoka University, and I think I'll be able to wrap this up in like 10-15 minutes. I won't take much time over here. Things that make Ashoka unique, like I said, you can explore before you choose. You learn from the best. In a few slides, I'll just talk about the faculty. We look beyond rote learning. By this we mean, opening your book, mugging up things, and giving you exams. This is not what will be happening at Ashoka. A lot of active participation in classroom is required. A lot of debates happen. A lot of faculty workshops are happening. A lot of peer discussions happen. So you really are looking just beyond. In simple words, marrowing ratta and then throwing up on your question papers, because that's not going to cut it over here. World-class education made affordable to all. We have a very special financial aid that is only need-based. I'll cover that as well. So need-based, I mean, nothing else will determine whether you get a financial aid or not, except for the fact that can you afford to come over here. So we have a very unique financial aid available at Ashoka. After that, we have it's more than your grades. So in your applications, we don't have any cutoffs. There are no cutoffs. We are seeking out students who are unique, who have whatever it takes basically. So we are not looking at your grades. We are looking at everything that you have done in your student life, whether it's ECA, whether it's something, some other activity, whether you're a debater, whether you're an academician. So anything it can be. Yes, we are looking at your application. A very diverse and vibrant student body, students from more than 16 countries, 108 cities, 342 plus schools. So we have students from all around the country, definitely, but we have also students coming from different parts of the world. India's best have contributed. Like I said, we are a philanthropic initiative, and India's leading businessmen, philanthropists, they've all come together to give you this education. Your launchpad to become a leader. Well, after you get out of Ashoka, your possibilities are endless. You want to have a career in a field of your choice, you can do that. You want to go for your higher studies, you can do that. You want to start your own thing, we will give you that support as well. So moving on, these are just a few founders. Again, not going to take much time over here. Make My Trip, Info Edge, ISP, Jambori, Bain Capital. These are some famous companies, Sun Pharma. So as you can see, these are just 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4. So just these many, just 16, just 12 of these founders out of 150 plus founders that we have at Ashoka. And the reason why I'm showing you this slide is just to show you that these are all leading businessmen, and there is no one person who is in charge of Ashoka. It's not owned by businesses. It's not owned by a person. It's a collective philanthropic initiative. These people, these founders are just jointly working together. So when decisions have to be made, everyone just gets one vote. And from their backgrounds, you can see, they are the ones who have really gone up so much in the past few years. And speaking personally, Mr. Ashish Dhawan, I've had the pleasure of meeting with Mr. Ashish Dhawan a few times, and it's inspirational, the kind of thinking and the kind of work that he's doing towards the philanthropy and the philanthropic initiative that he does. It's really great. So just a quick thing over here. Moving on, leadership, Mr. Rudarangshu Mukherjee, who is the Chancellor and Professor of History at Ashoka, and Ms. Sarkar, again, Vice Chancellor from Cambridge University. Again, great leaders to the university, very much in connect with the students. During the lockdown, students were reassured again and again by both our leaders that, everything is going to be fine. So in times when, nothing was clear, a clear path was set for everyone by our leadership, and that really makes things a lot easier for us as well. Coming on to the faculty now, as I said, world-class faculty, so 135 full-time and 46 visiting faculty members. Again, just have a look at the screen for a quick second. Oxford, Northwestern, Harvard, Delhi School of Economics, Cambridge, Yale. The reason I'm showing you this is because I don't want to, I don't want to say that, oh, they are from the leading schools and all. Not just that, they haven't studied over here. They have taught in these universities as well. And along with that, right now, when they teach at Ashoka, they're not just lecturers, they are actually researchers as well. So all of these people are also doing research work in their fields as well, and that's how research universities work. These professors, these lecturers, they are not just teachers, they are researchers. Their passion lies in their subjects, and that's how it really shines over here. That's how when a student studies economics at Ashoka, or computer sciences at Ashoka, or psychology at Ashoka, they're really able to see what really goes on behind the scenes as well, which is very important. Moving on now, the undergraduate program. So 3 years broken up into 6 semesters. At the end of these 6 semesters, you get a BA honors or a BSc honors in the choices of your degrees. So breaking it down now, foundation courses, this is what exposes you to different disciplines out there. When you come to the university, like I said, you don't start off by saying, okay, I want to do my BA in psychology, and from day one you start off with that. No. In the first 3 semesters, you have a freedom to choose what you want to study, and through these foundation courses, they expose you to different disciplines out there. After you have done that in the first 3 semesters, at the end of the 3rd semester, you'll declare your majors and minors to us. Along with your majors and minors and foundation courses, you have to do 2 co-curricular courses as well in a span of 3 years. This comprises of your 3 years of education at Ashoka, after which you have an option to pursue the 4th year, which gives you a postgraduate diploma in advanced studies and research. I'll just cover this in a few slides from now. Moving on now, these are the foundation courses quickly over here, from sciences to Indian civilization, which would be kind of like Paul sciences, to mind and behavior, which will be like psychology, grade books, which will be history, economics, which will be economics, literature and the world, which will be ELIT. So these are very different disciplines from each other, and the reason why I'm showing you this is because it may seem very sure to you that, okay, this is what I want to do, but trust me, when you study something and you realize, okay, I didn't connect these dots before, it really sparks this thing in your mind and within you that, okay, I know my majors, but what about my minors? I haven't really thought about that. So these courses really help you. These foundation courses really help you to get aware of what all is there for you out there, and you're able to make an informed decision at the end of the 3rd semester. And moving on to the next slide now, these are your majors. After you're done with your foundation courses, or after you're done with your first 3 semesters, you can choose your majors from the list of the pure majors right here, right? And along with your majors, you have to choose a minor as well, which you can do so from the list of minors right here. You can also choose your minors from the list of majors given to you. So I'll give you a quick example over here. Say you are done with your foundation courses, you're done with your 3rd semester. At the end of the 3rd semester, now you're making a choice over here. You say that, okay, I want to pursue economics. Along with economics, I want my minors as international relations. Another combination can be I want to do economics and I also want to do English because my passion lies in that. So you can do English and economics. So you can literally architect and design your own degree. We have, I think, when we made like a probability and a permutation combination, it was like you can make about 220 plus combinations with the degrees that are offered to you. Along with your majors and minors, you have to do co-curriculars, two of them: art, film, performing arts, languages, photography, theater. So any two from this you have to do in a span of 3 years. Again, this all brings about that interdisciplinary approach that we were talking about. Uh, Standing in front of a performing arts on a stage and connecting with people, that will definitely spark something in you. Learning a different language, it will open a different door in your imagination. Doing photography, doing theater, so these things are very, very important. You may not realize it, but they really, really contribute to that in overall development. Now if you can see over here, there's this interdisciplinary majors over here. Now these courses are actually a combination of majors and minors already. So along with this, you don't have to choose any minors. If you take something like, say, English and media studies or politics, philosophy, economics, along with this, you'll only be doing your co-curriculars. These are already combination of two or more disciplines that work really well together. Now, just a few things over here for people who want to, for students who want to do economics, computer sciences, mathematics, and physics. It's mandatory for you to have maths in your senior classes. For students who want to do physics, it's mandatory for you to have physics in your senior classes. All right, that's pretty much it. Moving on to the fourth year. This fourth year is actually an optional year. Anyone who's done the 3 years from Ashoka can do their fourth year. It gives you an opportunity to convert your majors into an advanced major, convert a minor into an equivalent major, or pursue a new minor altogether. So you have three choices over here. What happens is after 3 years, you realize, okay, I really want to go deeper into my studies, deeper into my majors. So you do an advanced major. You do this by doing research and thesis and also performing as a teaching assistant. You can convert a minor that you have done in your 3 years into an equivalent major. So at the end of the 4 years, your degree will reflect a double major, which will be recognized anywhere in the world. According to UGC, a double major is not possible in India. So this will reflect as a double major nonetheless. Yeah, it won't say a double major, but it will reflect like a double major. And you can pursue a new minor altogether. Say there was something that you really felt that I wanted to do, but I couldn't. So this is where you can do that. Moving on to the sciences at Ashoka, quick glance over here. We really encourage students to take sciences at Ashoka as well, and really break away from the traditional approaches of doing engineering or just becoming a doctor. If you're really into sciences, if you're really into physics, become a physicist. If you're really into chemistry, become a chemist. Do research at Ashoka, shadow the faculty, really follow your passion. Yeah. So if anyone is interested in sciences at Ashoka, definitely look into that as well. This is a quick thing over here. Young Scholars Program is a very good initiative started off by the university. Now, the December timeline is done, so I'm going to talk about the Young Scholars Program next year. So this is really for students who are moving on from 10th into 11th and 11th into 12th. It gives you a good opportunity to see how the university works. So you'll be invited to the university for a week or 2 weeks, depending on whether you take YSP or YSP Advanced. It's like a college experience in those weeks. You'll be staying at the campus, you'll be interacting with the students, you'll be taking classes over there, and then if you take an advanced program, you'll have the opportunity into the second week to actually choose one of the 3 subjects that you really want to pursue. Information is available at the website. Dates are given to you right here. I would highly encourage you to have a look at the YSP program. It's a great opportunity, to be honest. Really exposes you, tells you exactly what a liberal education university is looking at, and also what you can get out of this university. Moving on now, summer and semester abroad program. You know how these program works. These are some of the students who have gone in the past, and beyond these universities also, there you can literally choose any university you want, and we connect with that university and make sure that everything is fine, and if everything works out, then you can go to that university. 62 students went for a summer and 13 for a semester abroad program. These are the international partners. Now, not just related to summer and semester, but we have faculty trainings from these. A lot of these universities have also helped us in setting up our curriculum. Carlton helped us in setting up our computer sciences program. So, these universities really go beyond just having partnered for summer programs and semester programs. Coming on to the admissions process now, again, quick 5 minutes over here. Holistic is what I want you to, let me just look at the screen real quick. I'm sorry about that. Just give me 1 second. Okay, I have a few. Great. Nice to see that. All right, the holistic admission process now. I want you to focus on this word right here, holistic. This means that, listen, we really aren't looking for any cutoffs over here. This is what this basically means, that 95%, 96% is not the benchmark that we are looking at. We are not defining you by the grades that you have scored in your school. That is not the defining factor. That is not what you have to offer. It's not the end of the world as well. So we are making it very, very clear right here. There are no cutoffs. It's a completely online application, and we will look at your entire life over here. Now, this application in itself, trust me, is work. You have to do some digging. You have to really make sure that you're interacting with us through this application the best you can, because this is what will decide whether you get shortlisted and whether you get inside Ashoka or not. So first of all, your application will consist of your academic scores, your SAT ECT scores, your personal essays, recommendation letters, and your non-academic engagement. Now moving on. No, sorry, breaking it down, your academic scores, your 10th, 11th mark sheets, and your 12th expected grades. CBSE students can self-predict their grades and give that to us. SAT, ACT scores, totally optional. They are not mandatory at all. So even if you don't have them, don't worry. You will not be missing out on anything. 3 personal essays, and trust me when I say these personal essays are probably the most important part of your application. You really have to dig deep in these essays. We really want to know your story, and this is how you communicate with us. Recommendation, 1 LOR, again, which is totally optional. It is not mandatory, but highly recommended. Let me tell you, an LOR really takes your application a long way. From a teacher of your preference, or from the school principal, or anyone who's known you for more than 1 year in a professional manner. Non-academic engagement, now your ECAs, your extracurriculars, everything that comes over here. And this is where you really showcase your talent to us, regardless of whether you have won or not, what your hobbies are, what is your passion. Really, you have an opportunity to showcase everything over here. After you have submitted your application, we will kind of, just go through the application to make sure that it's genuine, it's not fake, and it's not plagiarized. We really take plagiarism very strictly. Plagiarism means copying. Basically, we have our own softwares that determine whether you have copied ideas from anywhere else or whether you picked up something from somewhere else and just put it over here. So as soon as we are done with that, the students are then invited for an Ashoka aptitude assessment, which is mandatory, and an on-the-spot essay again, which is mandatory. The Ashoka aptitude assessment, don't think of this like an entrance exam. It is not. It is just part of your application. We want to test your critical thinking and your problem-solving skills, and that's what this does. It's based on the Cambridge Thinking Skills Assessment, all right? And an on-the-spot essay again, which is mandatory. After this stage has been done, only shortlisted students are invited for the interview. So trust me when I say your application, you really have to work hard. It's a rigorous process, all right? We really have amazing students and amazing stories. Yeah, so the admissions team really goes through these applications twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times, 5 different set of eyes to make sure that everything has been picked up. And then the interview happens with the panel, whether you get a confirmed, conditional, waitlisted, deferred, or a denial of admission. Only after we give you a full confirmed offer do you apply for the financial aid, or do you even become eligible to apply for the financial aid. This happens because we do not want to discriminate on the basis of finances. Once you have proved to us that, okay, you deserve to be at Ashoka and you cannot afford it, then it is our responsibility to make sure that we offer you with some sort of financial aid ranging anywhere between 25% to 100% full waiver. And I'll quickly cover that in a couple of slides as well. These are the timelines now. For students who are in 12th, please start applying to Ashoka for next year. We are already in our round 2. This is where we are at right now. So we are on our round 2 applications. Deadline for submission for round 2 is 11th of January. And the rest of the dates are here. The assessment dates, decision, acceptance, and the session commences on August next year. So the 12th, I want you to, after the session, go to the Ashoka website, start your application, all right? And look at the application and start applying. Reach out to me if you have any concerns. Yeah, I'm here for you, and I'll guide you through the entire process as well. Quickly covering the fees and financial aid. Fees is 9.4 lakhs per annum. And I know that may seem a bit steep, but trust me when I say you are getting what you pay for. This kind of education literally is nowhere available in our country right now. I personally have been to this university as well. As ma'am had said, ma'am has given you my introduction. I studied in a university, which barely had like a fee of 40,000 for the 3 years that I was in. Right, I was in Sri Ram College of Commerce. It's the top university. It's the top college for commerce students, and trust me, you get what you pay for. I got what I paid for over there, which was a name. Right, we pay for the name, and that's what we did when none of these opportunities were available. This wasn't available for me in 2011 when I started off with my university. This sort of an option just wasn't there. So I went to the traditional approach, and as fun my college life was, I made some good friends. I had a good life, but when it came to education, I really did not see any change coming on from the school to university. It was the same. There was nothing different. But over here, with the kind of, oh my God, resources that are available for you, the amenities that are available for you, the faculty that is there, trust me, it's world class, and this is what you pay for. At the same time, like I said, the financial aid now is what really makes it shine. From the stats, you can see over 50% of the students are on some sort of financial aid. That means 50% of the students, literally half of the students, are anywhere between 25% to a full 100%. Out of those, 120 full scholarships have been given out, where these students don't pay for anything at all. On top of that, there are some students we gave a stipend, monthly stipend as well, because when I say, we have a very diverse student body. We have students coming from such economic difficulties where they are not even able to afford for anything at all. So we give them some amount of money just to make sure that their life at the university, becomes nice and comfortable. And students with family income of less than 2 lakhs, imagine, less than 2 lakhs, 8% of them are there, and first generation college goers, 10% of the college goers are first generation. That means the first time anyone in the family are going to a university. So this is what really helps us, I feel. The financial aid is what makes our philanthropic initiative really come to life as well. Moving on to the campus life, it's a residential program, fully furnished and air-conditioned men's and women's residences all. So this is included in your fees as well. Your food, your stay, your everything is there in this fees, and round-the-clock assistance and access to first aid and medical. Common lounges equipped for television, reading areas, board games, and pantry. All right. So personal stories, quick story over here. My younger cousin is in Ashoka as well, and I have been to the campus. I have been to these lounges, and oh my God, these lounges are amazing. And the kind of life and the kind of excitement that there is in these lounges. It's hustling and bustling with activities, and all kinds of like excitement and so much of chirpiness. Every time I go, there is some activity happening, whether it's like a small football, fantasy football league that is going on, some board games that are happening, a karaoke thing that is happening, Netflix party nights that are happening. So it's always active. Other services such as laundry, documentation, tuck shop, anything that you need is there in the university. So you don't have to step out anywhere at all. 55 clubs and societies on campus. You know how clubs and societies work. These clubs and societies, they go for inter-college activities, throughout the country. At the same time, if there's a club that you want to start, you have the opportunity to do that as well. Sports and fitness, 25-meter swimming pool, multi-purpose courts for basketball and badminton, squash courts, comprehensive gyms, 10-meter shooting range, football. So basically any sport that you really are into, we have the amenities for that as well. And I personally believe that a healthy mind resides in a healthy body. So over here, you're really encouraged to keep active in your free time as well. Placements in higher education. This is the data for 2018-19. We also have the 19-20 data. I'll just give you a quick glimpse of that as well. 334 students were placed. We have a 100% placement record. So anyone who sits for a placement will get placed. 8.5 lakhs was the average salary, and 25 lakhs per annum was the highest salary offered. These are the companies that come to Ashoka. Another thing I would like to say over here, you can see the different sectors and everything, just like any other university. I'm sure you know this. Every university that has presented to you by now, they all must have shown you the same slides. Same companies go to all universities. To be honest, we have a few companies that really come to seek out, especially at Ashoka as well. From these companies given in front of you. But the important thing over here is to realize that after you have done your 3 years at Ashoka, you now are ready to apply anywhere. regardless of the fact what you have done as your undergrad. You can be an English student and work in a management and consulting company, and this is not something that I'm just saying. I have student profiles with me who have done that. I have students who have done maybe a psychology honors with English and are working in a banking and finance company. Trust me, it's possible only because of the skills, because of critical thinking skills and leadership skills and the interpersonal skills. This is what the companies are looking for. They want to know that, things are changing so fast. Tomorrow this job role may be there, may not be there, but will you be able to adapt to any changes that come your way? So this is what we are looking at, and these are the different companies and industries. If you don't want to go for a job right after your graduation, you can go for higher studies as well within these universities, any universities of your choice for that matter. Diversity, I've already spoken about the social diversity, I've spoken about the geographical, 56% women, 43% men, and 1% neutral gender. These are my details. If you want to take a quick screenshot of that, you can do so. Reach out to me by email, by phone. The UG application helpline number will also lead you back to me. So you have everything that you need. Reach out to me. I'm looking forward to having your applications now. I'm looking forward to seeing more and more applications from you all. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. And if there are any questions, I hope, Ms. Mukherjee, I was able to, cover up points that would help out the students. Ma'am, you're on mute, sorry.
Shilpi, please unmute.
We will have to, yes, question answer session. Now we will have question answer session. Yes, Latika?
Okay, Shaurya, I'm a faculty member at the school. I look after humanities. Wonderful session. I did not join right from the beginning, but I've been attending your webinars, which come regularly of Ashoka University. So I've seen the quality of the faculty members which you have and what you do. Just a thing, because I did not see right from the beginning. I know that liberal education, the combinations are great here. Do you have something related to creative arts also?
All right, ma'am, I'm going to quickly share my screen once again. I'm going to take you back to the undergrad course slides. All right. So right here. So I hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
Great.
Your screen
All right. So, ma'am, these are the combinations that can be made so far. In the creative field, we have a lot of students going in for something like, it depends really, what you want to do. When it comes to, co-curriculars, we treat them separately. We don't really have arts and film performing arts as majors, right? But we do offer them as co-curriculars.
You've got them as minors, I believe. You've written visual art, performing arts, and creative writing.
That's right, ma'am. So, these are minors which can also be converted into majors in the fourth year. They can be converted into equivalent majors in the fourth year. But yeah, we do not offer them as majors in the 3 years itself. Right. Okay. So these students, even though they can study these subjects in a combination, and your combination can be made yourself. So we've had students who would just take like philosophy along with performing arts. English with creative writing is one of the most famous combinations. As you can see, it's an interdisciplinary major as well. So these are pretty much the combinations.
A lot in journalism and media.
Absolutely. So I was coming to that point as well. If you can see, ma'am, over here we have English and media studies as well. Another combination, which is sought after by students looking to do journalism in the future, getting into masters in your journalism, or even public relations or international relations. These subjects really help out quite a lot.
So I think for somebody who's planning to go into political science and international relations, you've got that combination also. You've got science with international relations.
Absolutely. So we have history and international relations. We have politics, philosophy, economics. Again, ma'am, ma'am, I'll tell you something. So, if sciences, economics is something that you're really looking after, like I said, my younger cousin brother, he's studying as a second year student right now, and has his majors as economics and his minors as pol sciences. And believe it or not,
That's a very
he wants
international combination, very,
it is,
very sought after.
and he really is into politics, ma'am. He really is into the general things that are happening all around the country. He so much so that he really doesn't want to pursue economics anymore. His love for political sciences has grown so much after coming into Ashoka. We have a great faculty over here, and he's looking to probably do his fourth year and converting his pol sciences into a majors as well, because that's what he really wants to do. So we have great combinations like these, and they really spark a lot of interest in the students as well, which is great to see, I feel, from my side.
And I think it's mandatory to stay in the facility, right? You don't
That's
have a
right, ma'am.
choice.
That's right, ma'am. It's a 100% residential program. And again, see, we are set up in a way where these foreign universities are set up as well. You will be given the freedom to make your own timetable. Your classes can happen till 5 in the evening as well, So just to give you that freedom and that comfort, to make sure that all the facilities that you may need are available at the campus, whether you have to go to a lab for a special class or an emergency class, you have to meet with the faculty. So for those reasons, we make it a residential program.
Okay, so one last question. When you apply here, by what time do you know about whether you're getting admission?
All right. Again, I'm just quickly going to share my screen and show you the
Dates
timeline.
I've taken, yeah, I've taken the dates over there.
Great. So I'm just going to quickly go over here. Sorry. Okay, there we go. So these are the timelines. So ma'am, again, we are broken up into 4 rounds, but you can only apply once in 1 year, right? So anyone who applies in the first round and gets rejected, he or she cannot apply again. Secondly, these 2 rounds, ma'am, the first 2 rounds, these rounds are very, very special because, a decision whether you have gotten in or not can be given to you even before your boards start. So this really gives students, a nice relaxed environment where they are assured, okay, I have this university, regardless of how I do in my boards, I will definitely be getting into a university. That's a big weight lifting up off your shoulders. Now the round 2 deadline is 11th of January, right? And the decision will be given somewhere in March itself. And similarly, round 3 and round 4, the decisions will happen after your board results are out then.
Okay, thank you.
Pleasure, ma'am. Pleasure. If there are any more questions, I'd be happy to take some more
Yes,
questions.
we have Priyanka Agarwal from 11th F. Priyanka, please ask your question.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, Priyanka.
Sir, I want to ask that what kind of opportunities can graduates of Ashoka can expect?
Already after your graduation, you mean?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. So Priyanka, your opportunities literally are endless. And I'll quickly go over here to the placements slides. Okay. So first of all, I'll break it down for you. After you graduate, you have 3 choices usually. You either go into a job and start working. You either go in for your higher studies, or you take a drop year and actually decide what you really want to do in your life, right? So within these 3 choices now, first of all, your job, when it comes to actually getting into a profession, you have these different industries coming and these different companies coming in as well. So again, like I said, regardless of what your majors are, or regardless of what your degree is, you can actually apply in any of these fields. And if media and communication after doing psychology is what interests you, then you can really apply for that as well. If you are not really looking forward to doing a job right after, higher studies at what you're looking at then, maybe a master's in something, maybe a fellowship you want to do after your graduation, you can do a lot of things. So right here is where some of our students have gone in the past. These are just some universities all around the world, even within our country. I know students who have gone to DSE for their masters, who have gone to law faculty to do something else, who have gone to DU again to do their PhDs or their masters. So you have a great opportunity. Again, you can do your masters from Ashoka as well. You can do the Young India Fellowship, which is something, again, I'll share the information with your teachers. Young India Fellowship is another brilliant opportunity, which is how Ashoka University started us off as well. So in this fellowship, it's a rigorous 1 year, which really trains you to take on anything and everything possible, really. So your opportunities are quite endless in that aspect here. You can go for a job, you can go for a higher study, literally do anything that you may want after that, regardless, depending on what you are aiming for.
Thank you so much, sir.
Pleasure.
Next is Chanchal, 11th F. She wants to ask.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Chanchal.
I want to ask the Ashoka University degree recognized by education institution in India and abroad.
All right. Yes, Chanchal, I'll tell you that we have. Can you just mute yourself? I'm sorry, there's some disturbance coming my way. Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. So we are recognized by the undergraduate grants commission, which is UGC. So like any other university in our country, which is recognized, we are also recognized, and that's why I'll tell you a quick story over here. We started off with 4 years in our university, but UGC does not allow any university which gives you a BA honors or a BSc honors to have a course of 4 years. That's why we made the fourth year optional, so that we could get the recognition by UGC. And this degree is recognized pretty much anywhere in the world, and definitely in India as well. And even if you want to go for your, IPS, IAS, all these services, it is recognized there as well.
Next is Nikita Gosain.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Nikita.
Sir, I wanted to ask that what are the criteria for selection into the undergraduate program?
All right. I'm going to start just quickly again to share my screen. So Nikita, the application process is your decider whether you get into the university or not. Like I said, we really believe in this holistic admission process. By that, I mean there are no cutoffs at all. So we'll be looking at your academics that you have done. Again, they'll not define you, but we look at them. We look at your personal essays that you've written. What is your story exactly? The LOR that has come to us by people who know you, and what all extracurriculars you have done. Now, these are just a part of your application. After your application is submitted, then we have the Ashoka Aptitude Assessment and an on-the-spot essay. So the main aim behind this is, first of all, we want to check your aptitude. This is not an entrance test. Don't get intimidated that you have to do well in this entrance test. That's not how it works. It's just a part of your application as well. The on-the-spot essay, on the other hand, we want to make sure, first of all, how are your thinking on the spot skills? Yeah, how can you think? Can you think really on your feet? At the same time, the essays that you have given in your application, are they written by you? Because what happens a lot of times, your counselors might help you. You get some professional help to write these essays. So we want to catch all that as well. So that's basically how you get shortlisted for the interview, and then obviously the interview happens and your admission takes place.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
Next, Gauri Lekhi.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, what are the
Good afternoon.
academic scores required for evaluation to get into the university?
All right. Thank you, Gauri. Like I said, holistic, we have to focus on the word holistic. There are no cutoffs. We've had students in the university who have achieved a 70, 75, 80, 85% as well. So we are looking at everything. Not your marks as such, but your extracurriculars that you have done, any social activities that you have done in your life. What have you written in your essays? Maybe you have a story that is so unique, and we see that, okay, this child, if this child comes into Ashoka University, not just this child will benefit, but we'll benefit as well. So we're looking at everything. There are no cutoffs as well. So there are no marks required as such. Your marks will not define you. Your application overall, in its essence, will define you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
Next, we have Mishti Sharma.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So, sir, my question is that it is always said that liberal education is a Western concept and it is not much suited to our Indian culture. So, is this really true?
Thank you, Mishti. That's a good question. I am delighted to see you thinking in those lines as well. That's a very good question, and partly true. That's how things have been in our country. You talk to so many parents, and they're like, "अरे क्या करोगे यार, engineering करो, अरे क्या करोगे, B.Com honors करो यार तुम." I I'll tell you my story as well. When I passed out from my school, I was into cooking. I really enjoyed cooking a lot, and I really wanted to get into IHM. But obviously, I got into SRCC. And when you tell a parent कि मेरे को cook बनना है versus I've gotten into SRCC, you know what happens over there. Arey, you have got a short thing in front of you. They said, get into SRCC, यार life बन जाएगी तुम्हारी. यार life ऐसे नहीं बनती. Life, you have to make what life makes out of you. So yes, partly we are kind of there is still some speculation whether this will be suitable for us or not. But this is where we are heading now. In the future, this is what things are looking for. New education policy is introduced for this reason as well. We want to make sure that you are applying yourselves in a good way. Move away from traditional approaches. See, what happens is the curriculum, I can tell you from personal experience in DU, has been the same for the last 50 years since it's been established. We go into the university. I know for a fact, I mugged up on my 10 years papers, saw the questions, wrote the answer, went to the examination hall, gave my paper, scored good marks, came out, and that was it. When it came to learning, I don't think I learned really a lot out of my university as such, But now we are moving into this direction. The government is supporting us. We are seeing a change slowly. The more and more outreach that I do from my side, our team does. We go out there, we talk to people, we talk to students, we talk to parents, we talk to teachers, and we are trying to just make this culture come out a bit more. And I'm hoping for a positive change in the future. And I definitely feel we will kind of take up this in the future as well and move away from the traditional approaches that we have seen so far. So thank you for that question, Mishti. That was a great question.
Thank you so
Yes,
much, sir.
Next is Kanika Sharma.
Yes, sir. Firstly, thank you so much for this informative session.
You're
My
welcome,
question,
Kanika. So sweet.
my question is not particularly related to this. This is the question is, how do the one best prepare for applying to stage 2 and 3? That is interrogation session and the creative writing that you mentioned in minors.
All right. So what happens is, first of all, the Ashoka Aptitude Assessment is based on something called the Cambridge Thinking Skills Assessment. If you Google that, you'll be able to see, in fact, Ashoka's name is right there in the universities that partner for that is assessment. So that is one part of your application, right? Then the on-the-spot essay, again, we want to test you, whether you have written the essays yourself. So you can prepare for the assessment by looking at the sample papers given at the website, along with the Cambridge Thinking Skills Assessment. You can prepare for the on-the-spot essays. There are a few on-the-spot essay samples that are given on the website as well, which you can see, and you see, what kind of questions come. They're very, very general questions, nothing that will test your knowledge as such, but your general awareness in all. Coming on to the interview process now. We have a separate, session that we do. Ms. Mukherjee, I'd like to tell you this, ma'am, if you can share this with the school. Students who are looking to apply, for the batch of 2021, we do a separate application sessions that focuses only on the application part of the Ashoka. We don't talk about anything else but the application, how to write the application, how to give the interview, how to build your profile, not just for the Ashoka University, but for any other university you may be applying to as well. So these sessions, they have been, taken off, and they have been getting really a good response from all schools that I've been to so far. And I've covered so many. I've covered about 80 schools in Delhi personally myself right now in this year, which is maximum so far, that Ashoka has done in Delhi itself. So we are now reaching out to these things. So your interview is kind of a little more in depth, I would say. Not really rigorous, but it's more of a conversation. But I would prefer that I will share a link with you as well, and you can have a look at that video to see how the interviews are conducted, because it'll take more than 10 minutes for me to explain how exactly these things work out. Yeah. So basically what I can say is, be yourself in the interview. Don't exaggerate. If you don't know anything, not knowing is a part of life. You don't have to make up stories. Be yourself. Say, no, I don't know that. If you're not creative, don't try to be creative. If you're not exceptionally, well versed with so many things, like books and all, don't have to talk about those things. So be yourself and you should be fine, is what I would suggest.
Yes, any more questions?
Okay, thank you so much for.
You're welcome, Kanika. You're welcome.
Okay, so I think we should wind up now. So whatever you have said, Mr. Chima, it's a very motivating and interesting. And what I want to say that in school level also, we are following that same thing. Like we have our students, they are very well versed in experiential learning and art integration because these are part of the curriculum of CBSE. They are already following it. So
Great.
our students are expert in that only. So I hope
Great.
our students must get this good idea from your university, what you have suggested. And just now you have said for 2020-21 batch, we should tell them about the application and the interview process. So we will definitely convey this message to them so
Please do.
that they should get the benefit out of for this in order to get admission in this university. So I hope
Great.
after this interactive session, I hope the students have understood the new concept of liberal education and their doubts are addressed. Thank you, sir, for taking out time from your busy schedule to explain all about the liberal education and Ashoka University to our students. Thank you once again.
My pleasure,
Now,
ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so
thank
much.
you.
And I would like to thank the principal and the counselor for reaching out to me and the students as well. I received some really good queries, and that makes my work really enjoyable. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And the recorded version of this session will be available on school's YouTube channel, students. So thank you, students, for joining also. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Have a good day. Bye bye, everyone. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye, everyone.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Mishti?
मैम वो क्वेश्चन आपने दिया था
Huh? Yes, that was a
मैम
good
तो
question. That was a very good
यस
question.
मैम so I want to compliment you actually
Okay, it's
compliment suitable
fine.
है
We
ना
are always with you, Mishti. We are always with
yes
you.
मैम
Okay, beta,
मैम
fine.
मुझे ये
Thank you that you have
क्वेश्चन
put up that
थैंक यू मैम
question. Thank you.
थैंक यू मैम बाय
Okay.
मैम
Bye. Hmm.